He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Nine-ball top number 50, you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. Nineball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. To the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. Nineball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. ATG from Kilmarnock town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand,
And that's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. A virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Just for fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic.
pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Right, good evening everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. It's been a few days since I've done a stream. The main problem for that, or the main reason for it, is that matches have been going off at a time that I am not going to be covering, simply because they're going to run too late for me, as is the one that has just appeared on the bracket tonight. The match between Larry and Bedhead on the one-loss side. It starts in an hour and 10 minutes time, and it's only appeared in the last hour or so, that match, I believe. But we are here for the other one-loss side match that's on tonight, the one between Spudboy and Tommyy. We had a match earlier today where I was at work when it started, the match between Cobra and Acero, the defending champion. And it has to be said that the one player who can only have himself to blame is Acero. Cobra gave him enough chances late on in the match from what I've seen, and Acero just failed to deliver. And the final sort of humiliation for Acero was trying to play the breakout on the two balls that were stuck in the rail. He must have known he had to go narrower and tighter into those balls and try and get the top of them, rather than letting the cue ball open out, because these corner pockets are huge when there's a ball running at them. And poor Acero just let the cue ball open out, went straight down into the corner pocket below the two balls, and that was it. Cobra gave him enough chances, and when you get enough chances from players like Cobra and you can't take them, then at the end of the day you can't say it's bad luck. You just have to say you failed to capitalise on the opportunities. So the defending champion is now over on that one-loss side. So here's the schedule that we have. We've got Spudboy and Tommyy coming up next. In a few minutes' time, we've got the match between Larry and Bedhead, and One Pocket Slim is going to be covering that. All of these, of course, races to 150. And then the final one-loss side match is Albinario and Rabi, and they go ahead on Monday night at 8 p.m. And again, this is a match that's going to be covered by Slim if he's around, because I won't be doing it. It's starting too late for me. It's a match that will go could go 2 hours, and that's into my bedtime, and that is no good. So if we now look at, here we go with this bloody bracket again. I cannot be doing with this. Come out of that and go back to it. Let's have a quick catch up. Incidentally, I hasten to add that I am still in testing with my XSplit broadcaster because of the crashes that broadcaster's been having. I've done what the XSplit customer support has told me to do. I have carried that out, and I've had a couple of successful test streams in the meantime. So this is another big test tonight to see if everything will hold out. Right, let's have a look at this bracket, and hopefully I don't touch anything. Right, so we need a catch-up here. We have Coldest Pillow now in 1, 2, 3, 4, into round 5. And he now knows that he's playing Cobra for the hot seat match, as a matter of fact. So this will be the biggest test for Coldest Pillow up against multiple world champion Cobra. And over on the one-loss side, so there's not many matches left, but there's still a bit of tidying up needing done. We know that Albinario is playing Rabi on Monday night. We know that Slim is lying in wait for that one. And Acero, who lost earlier today, is in lying in wait for the outcome of those two matches. So Acero's going to have a chance to, he's going to have plenty of time to think about where he went wrong today. They have up until the 26th of April for Acero to play his match. The bottom half of the draw, we have the match with Larry and Bedhead tonight. and that winner will go through, and they will play the winner of this match that I'm covering tonight between Spudboy and Tommyy. And then further on in the bracket, a bit like Acero, we have MC_Clarky lying in wait there as well. So both of those players are going to have plenty of time where they could get practice in, loads of time to do that before they're going to see their next opponent. So this tournament is rapidly approaching the business end. Needless to say, there are some players who may well have overstayed their welcome. We will find that out soon enough. But of course, the two guys in the back of the hot seat, they have a deadline until May the 1st to get that organised. And that covers that. The only other thing is I haven't had any conversation with Steve. Good evening to Coldest Pillow. I haven't been reading the chat because I've got the chat down on my phone. I've been busy reading the screen. What does 150, 144 mean? Anyway, I haven't had a word with Steve because he should actually, in my opinion, have the Virtual 9-Ball World Championship sign-ups up and open prior to the end of this tournament. He should be getting that thing done. And as it is, nothing's been done so far as I'm aware. Right, so where have we got to? Well, we've got 3 minutes to go, and Spudboy was asking for any tips, and well, I gave him the obvious tip: don't do stupid stuff. Tommyy will be the favourite. Now, the thing to point out is that looking at the stats on the screen there, you've got Spudboy, who got his high run in that last match. In fact, I think his high run basically won him the match right at the end of the match against Miasma. Was it Miasma who was playing the other day? And that's a very good high run for Spudboy, 46. Tommyy has a high run of 94, but it has to be said, Tommyy has been nowhere near getting to 94 in any of his matches that I've seen. So Spudboy will be hoping that he doesn't kick into gear tonight. And Spudboy has to play sensibly. And from what I saw in that 40-odd run, or leading up to that 40-odd run, he was playing sensibly, which is a lot better than what I've seen him do in the past. And Spudboy knows that. But if he plays wisely and doesn't do daft stuff and frustrates Tommyy by not leaving him anything or cutting and running, taking what you can get and then just sticking to a ball and leaving him nothing, then, you know, frustration can set in and Tommyy can start pushing the boat out and doing stupid stuff himself. Because we saw things like that happen earlier in the tournament from Miskin against Fast Eddie. That's exactly how that match went. Fast Eddie kept making mistakes. Miskin was never going to run 100 balls, but what he did do was run 15 to 20 balls and kept Fast Eddie stuck, not getting anything. And Fast Eddie still kept making mistakes. And each time Miskin capitalised. I see that's the way that this may maybe have to go tonight. Right, no message from Steve as to whether he's going to be joining us. Keep an eye on that match with Larry and Bedhead. That starts in an hour's time. That should be an interesting one to cover. In the meantime, welcome whoever is there. We've only got the usual suspects involved in the chat. Cobra earlier on there and Coldest Pillow, who is the back-to-back Friday night 9-ball champion, he hastened to tell me the other day. But as I have no further interest in Friday night 9-ball, I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't care less. Well, remember what I said, Spudboy, just don't do stupid stuff. That's all you have to do. Welcome to Miasma. Right, so I don't have Discord open because I'm assuming that Steve might be watching the golf as well, because I'm missing the golf. Although the golfers, the main leaders, don't go out until half an hour half an hour's time, so I'll be able to catch some of that before I go to bed tonight.
Where's the cue ball going?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Right. So we're now at the top of the hour. The room should be up. We've got one player already in. I'll get myself in there. Hopefully the audio is coming through loud and clear. You can let me know if there's any problems, because they won't be fixed. You can just let me know. Welcome to Mark. Well, we had our first drop of rain overnight last night. It wasn't, it wasn't pouring rain. It was just it dampened the ground, and there was a bit of rain when I was driving to work this morning. But we didn't have anything substantial. But that's the first rain that we've had in, oh goodness knows how long. It must be virtually a couple of months. And we've had wildfires over in Arran. We've had wildfires down in the Galloway Forest. We've had wildfires all over the place. So anyway, Tommy's won the lag. Spudboy's been put in. And I don't know whether Spudboy's been working on any sort of technique on the break. The answer to that is probably not, because he's left Tommyy with a very comfortable start here. Yeah, it's to be back to the sort of Atlantic airflow where we've got, fronts moving through and rain. But bearing in mind we're heading into the summer months, we won't tend to get an awful lot of rain unless something really weird happens. The rain that we get is generally not an awful lot. But no doubt there'll be some places down south already be looking at droughts and stuff like that. So Tommyy is off and running. So let's, now straight away my donut isn't working. What the hell's happening with this game? My donut's disappeared. Now it's back. Once I tabbed out there and came back, the donut's back. Oh, hang on a minute. I was experimenting with the different camera settings. I don't like 40 for live streaming. I like it down to 30. Now, that's better. So Tommy's got what looks like from this distance a pretty good table at the moment. He's got a break ball in situ. He's got a break ball there as well, a little bit wider on the 15 ball. And he's also got a handy 7 ball at the head of the pack there that would be handy for getting to either of those two break balls, although this 4 ball needs to go out the way. Well, that 4 ball will squeeze past the 15. And with these 2 balls down table, that would be one way of getting to either break ball as well. So he's choosing to get rid of this 4 ball, which I think is a wise move. Well, I did a couple of nights ago. I did what I did last summer when the warmer weather set in. What I have done is I have taken my duvet off the bed, and all I have on my bed is one blanket. One blanket, that's all I have in the bed, and I sleep like a log. I've got no duvet in the bed. The duvet's out in the hallway. It's folded over the banister, out of the way, and it means you're a lot cooler in your bed at night with just the one blanket on. So take my advice: if you're waking up and your head's sweating and all that sort of stuff, then get rid of the bloody Get rid of the duvet and just get a blanket, one blanket, and you'll be more than comfortable. I did it last summer and I had great sleeps during the warm weather. What even is a duvet? I did not. You not have a duvet. It's a big thick. What is it they call them? The multi-tog things. Big thick. It's a big thick blanket which goes inside a duvet cover. I don't know what you call them in other parts of the world. Somebody must know. Yeah, it's a big or a big quilt. But anyway, it's mine weighs a bloody ton, so it does. It weighs an absolute ton. See, when I took it off the bed, it was a bloody sack of coal. And you've got that lying across you at night in the warm weather. I mean, duvets are meant to keep you hot and warm, so you can't be doing with that on. So one blanket, and it does the trick. Oh, God knows what mine is filled with. I think it's filled with cement. Right, well, so far so good for Tommyy, although well, like I said earlier, these two balls would be handy in one way of getting to that break ball, and he's still reasonably good, although I think he might be too straight in this 9 ball, is he? He's got an angle. So for any latecomers, one pocket slim, this isn't great. One pocket slim is going to be covering that match with Bedhead and Larry, which starts in an hour's time on his Twitch channel. This is not good. Now, you'd think he could, I don't know whether this has got too much angle to stun this to the rail just below the pocket. Well, that's what he's tried. And that's a pretty damn good shot. And he's held that very well. So the first big test. Yeah, the duvet won't go back on until probably October. It'll just lie there gathering dust until then. I don't know that he's got a shot here. He might be able to see the 7. And then again, he might not. Well, the 1 ball does cut, and that's the only one that you can see. He can cut the 13 if he's going to be crazy. I suppose that's one way of getting a bump. He might need a wee bit of right to hit something here, but this might not go good. He needs to try and get into that gap to maybe end up in a 3 ball or something. If he hits any of these 2 balls themselves, I don't know whether he'll do a great deal of damage. Well, he's hit the 15. And he has came out good, and he did finish the 3 ball. Commentator's eye. Well, this nice comfortable start that Tommyy got from Spudboy's break. Maybe that's something Spudboy should have tried to work on. And this might be a very good chance for Tommyy to make a substantial score right off the bat here. Well, you've got 3 line of balls there. He's got to try and get this cue ball out of there, and he has done. So, this is a bit awkward. Awkward because of that ball. That's a problem ball, that 11 ball, where it's sitting. It's awkward because it blocks the path I mean, the 6 ball will go to the side pocket, but really, if you're up this end of the table, you're going to be trying to play the 8 ball into that corner probably, and you need to get rid of the 11. And you've also got the problem in here with the clutter that's in there as well. So, and he's just left that a wee bit short on the 6. He's now getting into a slightly blind pocket with that 6 ball. And you're squeezing it past the 11, so suddenly everything narrows up trying to play that shot, and I think he's maybe bailed out in it, taking the 2 instead, and a possible break ball is going to disappear. Got to get rid of that 11, and he's blocked himself off for that. It's not the 11, is it? Aye, it is the 11. Is that another maximum in the qualifying? I never seen any of the qualifying today. I just know that Jimmy White's out, and Ken Doherty should be out as well, because he was well behind before I went to bed the other night. So the 2 of them will be back in the commentary box and the punditry stuff at the World Championships. And then, of course, next week we will have Judgment Day in the qualifiers when it gets down to the last matches to see who gets to one of the 16 places at the World Championship first round. That'll be on YouTube. It should be free on YouTube, as it has been the last few years. So Tommyy on a run of 23, and again getting to this critical point in the rack. Well, he's brushed the 1, and well, he can nip this 6 ball in and get a little bump here. He doesn't want to play a too soft a bump because he could end up stuck in the ball. Well, he isn't doing it, so he's trying to get onto the 1 ball into the side. I don't know what the hell he's doing here. I know he's got the 5 ball up table, but I'm not sure that's gone according to plan, because he's left it a wee bit short. I think he can still get the 1 into the side and leave the 12 as the nominated break ball. I think he's okay. Yeah, Jack Lazowski's out. I saw that. I saw a message come up on... where the hell did it come? I think it come up on my phone. Yeah, Jack Lazowski's probably one of the most disappointing players for the talent that he is. And the years are dragging on for him to actually make a breakthrough. He might be one of these players that just is never going to get there. And, you know, he's watched his pal, Judd Trump, come through a bit like what Jack Lazowski's doing. Trump used to lose a lot of matches early on, but eventually he learned from his defeats. Right, so, well, Tommy's got the cut into the side pocket. Cue ball's going to be running. I don't know whether he maybe want to check this up. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he's got to watch the pace in this and get the decent line. He wants to be about there, like where the donut is. And that's not bad. That is pretty good. So, the run is 28. Well, all the balls have broken out reasonably well. There's a bit of tidying up needing done again over the corner pocket. There's a dead set combo there that's a bit tight to get to, but that is pretty much stone dead, but it probably won't be there for very long. I think there'll be a bit of bumping done. Right, I'm going to have a quick drink. Well, I'm surprised he hit that so hard, because to me, I think the objective should be getting rid of this, because this is a blocking situation here, and he needs to get rid of that, and he hasn't dealt with it. Dot's been suspended by the WPBSA because he's been charged with sex offences. So he's, I mean, if this doesn't go well for him, you're never going to see him again. That'll be him done and dusted and gone. Well, Tommyy can get the cue ball onto this back rail here, off this one ball, and deal with this combo or whatever, but he's not got there. So again, I'm not sure what he's tried there. I'm not really sure what he tried there. I'm assuming he wanted to get down here a bit more to play this combo, but he's finally going to try and get rid of it. He's got to sort of just skim this to get that cut angle onto that 5 ball. He doesn't want to hit this too full in the face from the 15 ball. Well, that's created, well, a bit more of a problem, but not a problem in the sense that all of these balls go. But from where he's sitting right now, he's got a lot of problems, because he's not got a bailout up table. He's got a very dodgy cut up the table or the bank. So he's called the bank on the 13. So did 1-1. What the hell are we talking about? What happened there? Because I was too busy reading the chat. Anyway, Tommy's runs ended in 35. He must have scratched or something. Oh no, it was a missed call. It must have been into another pocket. So Tommy's run is 35. Spudboy is already on a rescue mission, so he needs to eat into this deficit as much as he can. I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat. I've totally missed whatever's going on. Who's TTT? I don't know what that means. So did TTT. Travelling. Oh, he ended up in jail, did he not? For a bit of interference from what we heard. Well, he doesn't want to hit this too soft, because he wants to come either through the gap into the table or bump something out the way, but he doesn't really need to bump anything, but he doesn't want to play this too soft and stick in the ball. That'll do it. So we have a nominated break ball here. This 9 ball doesn't need touching. And he's got these 2 adjacent balls to get to that 9 ball. I don't like this angle he's playing this at. I don't like this. This is asking for trouble here. Well, he's got the brush, but that's taken away the easy or the easier shot to get to this break ball. Now it's going to require a much more controlled shot to get to that 9 ball. Now, if he's going to play this soft, there's no way he's going to stay inside that ball on the rail. He's going to be coming out too far, and then it's a dodgy cut. Then the question is does he want to try and run 3 rails to get to that 15 ball? Because that's the normal approach. 1, 2, anything but straight. Now he's got a chance here. He's got a chance again. He can pot this and run 2 rails out into the table, and he doesn't want to run too far. You run too far that way, you end up too straight. You run it up short, you'll have a good angle. Now he's drawing back. Whichever's the best to control, but you see he hasn't got into it. Now he's left himself far too much work to do. Loads of right English, and he can't really hit the middle of this pack of balls because he'll probably stick. He needs to cut an edge here to try and maybe open something out. I think he's going to need a bit more English than that. Well, I'm not convinced he's got an awful lot on that. No, he didn't have enough on it. He was never going to hit them like that. He needed a lot more right English on that. Well, Spudboy's visit is only 8. But what it must be is 8 and nothing for Tommyy. Well, he's given Tommyy the chance to head to the long grass, which is what he should be doing, a very thin edge, and get the pace right and get that cue ball down onto that. Now, that's too heavy. That's a touch like a sledgehammer, that shot. That is way too heavy. So now he's in a practice at that. The next time he has a shot like that, he should get it a lot closer. But he's still got distance. Spudboy's got to be careful on the edge that you play here, because it's so easy, and we've seen it happen loads of times, where a ball will just sneak out. I don't know whether he's looking at anything potentially as a shot here, because I don't see anything. Everything's far too tight. Well, this time it's not quite as simple for Tommyy because of the angle he's got here. He's more than likely, if he doesn't get this too thin, yeah, he's played that a lot better. That's a much better attempt. Still a wee bit short, but got the touch on the 1 ball as thin as he dare without nudging anything out. And there's still nothing doing there. But whenever you're playing from distance, it's always the most difficult thing in this game to keep this pack tight without actually even leaving something set, you know, creating a combo with a mistake or just nudging enough of a ball out. So Tommy's now had a couple of practice runs at getting to this kitchen rail, and again he's hit that far too hard, and now he's left a bait out there for Spudboy. Spudboy going to take the bait? That's the question. Because this is like a sucker shot, this one. This 1 ball. I know what I'd be doing. I'd be going off the edge of that 1 ball around the corner and down into this corner here. Even if I scratch, I don't care. That's what I'd be doing. And heading to the long grass again. I mean, if he rolls into the middle of that little triangle or that pyramid there, he's more than likely going to lose a point, but he's probably more than likely going to leave nothing on. Well, he hasn't called anything, and he's been brave, and he's played the one ball. And, well, even though did I test that there? Did it work? I'm not even sure whether the replay worked there. I'll test it again. Well, he got brave. Now the question is he going to follow that up? He's got opportunities here. Yes, it did work. The replay is working. There you go. I wasn't convinced it was working, but it is working. Right. Well, he took his time over that one ball, but he got it. Yes, he can pot the 2. Now, if I'm potting the 2, I'm trying to stun across and bump something to hold for the 10 or something like that. Or, you know, stun across and bump anything here, because you're bound to still have a bailout shot. He's got into the cue ball a bit more than I would have liked, and he's now created another problem doing it. It just needed a wee bit more of a controlled stun across, nothing too heavy, but just to get into that area, get rid of the 10. But it might now be well worth having a bang at this and try to nudge something open here. This might be the time to take a risk. The only danger is if you did do that is hitting this 14 ball and hitting it too heavy and coming in along the rail. So maybe he did the right thing there. But he's still got to get a nudge one way or another here. Because that 5 and 7 are nothing like a combo. Now that has done the trick. Because if he just plays that 12 in the gap, now I've had a drink of water, I've got the hiccups, but that 12 in the gap there goes. So that should be his next shot. And then down for the 7 if needs be. But when you're on this opportunity here, that's what you get rid of. Get rid of the 12. I'm sure he's looking around. I mean, he's just looking around to get the lay of the table to know where things are. But I'm pretty certain this is what he should be playing next. Because you can get all of that 12 ball. Why is he looking? Is he still thinking about a shot? Because this is the only thing that worries me, that he's looking at this 5 and he should be playing the 12. I mean, he's right on top of the 12 ball. There's no way that 12 ball doesn't go. Not in a month of Sundays, there's no chance that 12 ball doesn't go. Well, he's taken a 5 and he's got a bump and he's good. So now, he should already have looked at his options here for a break shot. Clearly the 8 ball's as near as damn it going to be a break ball. And he's got options from these balls here to get to this 8 ball. So there's balls in the vicinity to get to this 8 ball. And that's a terrible shot, because he didn't want to do that. That is not what he wanted to do. I mean, there's no way that he should have been bumping that 8 ball, because that's the best bet he had of being a break shot. And now he's in trouble, having to go to plan B already here. Well, there's an instance where Spudboy's played the shot but not looked at controlling the cue ball, really. And if you play that shot in the right way, then you can make sure you're not going to bump the 8 ball. So now he's got a headache in what he does to progress this run. I'll have another drink, see if I can get the hiccups again. Right, we are just under half an hour away from the start of that match with Larry and Bedhead. Well, where he's sitting right now in that 6 ball would have been a potential chance for a break shot. He would have been able to pot that 6 ball and get a bump that way, but that ain't going to happen. So, well, as soon as that 8 ball get hit, the prospects of Spudboy continuing this run have sort of wilted. That 15 ball is right at the back of the pack. I don't know that that's going to be any good. And had that ball there been up this side of the pocket, there would have been one option of trying to pot the last ball and get into the triangle there and break from the kitchen. But I don't think that's going to happen either. I'm missing half the chat again on my phone. Somebody there saying I'm being mean or whatever. I'm missing all of that in the chat. This is bloody ridiculous, this. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, he didn't go for the 13, did he? Which is the one I would have went for. Right, well, I think he can get something here, but it's thin. He's got to dig into this cue ball. Now the question is it that thin that he can hit it and run it and catch something at the back of the pack, or is he trying to cut it and dig and get a hit off? I don't know whether he can get anything of this. It's difficult to judge. Well, it's a big shot, because what he doesn't want to do is miss the pot and get a hit. That would be fatal. Oh.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Well, you know where that went wrong, and Spudboy should already have known that. It went wrong from the point of view that he played a shot and bumped his only good prospect of a break ball, and from there it was downhill. So the run ends in 12, and Tommy's got a chance to extend that lead again. So that's the one. It's really when that's really your best prospect of a break ball, then you should be doing everything not to bump it, Spudboy. You know that, and he could have done that. A wee bit of English here and there, he could have avoided hitting that 8 ball. This is why you've got to be switched on 100% of the time, all the time. You can't just drift in and out of these. Especially when you've got such a long wait, maybe to get back to the table, you've got to stay on the ball and stay focused, because then you end up playing something careless and loose. So now, Tommy's going to have to pull out a shot here, I think, because I think he's only got this cut in the 4 to go for. It doesn't look too good up at this end of the table here. Yeah, he's going to have to dig out a pot.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, he's okay. Now, can he get that 11 ball? I don't think that's too tight, is it? It's too tight to risk the 11 ball. But again, Tommy's not sitting great here at the moment the way these are. Now, if he'd finished in a better angle than that too, that would have done proper damage. Now, he can still go forward and come back up into this area here to go on that 2-ball. Well, he's left it a wee bit short. Now, the 8-ball, he doesn't want to hit the 2-ball. That's the one thing he doesn't really, or he wants to hit most of it if he can, but he could glance off this 2-ball and still leave the problem. No, he's got a perfect hit. That couldn't have landed up any better. Well, this is like, it's actually, again, a bit high in the pack, that 15-ball for a break ball. You could go inside in the 10-ball and get a hit that way. That would be an option. And we've got this bailout ball. I've got a couple of bailout balls down table. So I don't think that they're necessarily going to be needed to get to the break ball, because I'm not really thinking that that's great. I mean, is it okay? Because it's a bit too much at the top of the pack. Maybe it is okay. There's an echo in your soundboard, is there?
Hasta la vista, baby.
I don't hear anything. I'll need to look at it in the video at the end of the... Well, not tonight. I'll look at it tomorrow. Well, I presume it's going to be the 15-ball. Why did
Where's
he hit
the
that
cue
so
ball
hard?
going?
Why did he hit that so hard? I have not got a clue as to what that was all about. That's a terrible shot by Tommyy. The run is only 10, and so Spudboy's been let off the hook there. And, well, clearly the 9-ball is out of the kitchen, so Spudboy could roll that in. But that was a terrible shot by Tommyy. I don't know what he was trying to achieve there. He didn't need to hit that as hard to get the cue ball around to move on to one of these balls down here or whatever. Strange shot. So Spudboy has been let off the hook. And now the important couple of shots coming up here. He's going to roll through for that 10-ball. I think it's a 10-ball. He's hit this too hard. Again, I'm pretty certain he's played that wrong. Yeah, I mean, he wanted to get to there to play that and get up the table, play that to get to the break ball. And now he's already in plan B. And this ain't good. And that's a poor shot from Spudboy, because that was a simple roll through. So he hit that like a sledgehammer, and he should have been sort of there on that 10-ball, and he could have spun the cue ball around to come up for this. So, well, he's seriously thinking about keeping the break ball there. He doesn't want to be leaving this table with just one in the board. He's got to get out of this hole here, because this is a nasty habit to start to get into, where you're not making any sort of inroads on your deficit. You've been given that chance. Well, this needs to miss that ball. And now he's in no man's land. Well, it's a dodgy cut in the 10, whatever way you look at it. He's got a chance to get something on this 15-ball. And it might be a big nasty cut from inside on the 15. And he might be 100 yards away from it as well. I mean, the line off this 10-ball is looking dangerous. Depending on how sharp he hits it, that he could end up coming down into this corner pocket down here. Now, what's he doing? Calling the bank the 9. Not the 9, the 15. Why did I think there was a 9 ball on the table? Maybe it was because my donut was on the table at the same time. But anyway, I'm not sure how this is going to work. Is he trying to hold the cue ball into the triangle? I don't know why. I'm surprised he's not cutting the 10 ball and trying to at least have some sort of shot in the 15. Well, that's perfect. Wow. That could not have landed any better. Well, he saw something I missed there. He played the little nudge, played the bank, nudges the 10 ball into play. Superb. What a shot. Commentators, I never saw that coming. Well, he's just got to get a control of this cue ball. He could not have played that any better. That was excellent. Cue ball still on the table. It's, well, he's got bailout, so he's good to go here, Spudboy. You're good to go. And this is where you need to settle down. And like I said to him earlier, I said, you know, you've not got a shot clock. You've no need to try and hurry to go over maybe a more difficult shot. You can take all the time you need. But that was a cracking shot. There's no way I saw that coming. Perfect little nudge onto the ball just to nudge it into play. And sitting perfect for the break shot. Definite shot of the day of what I've seen. But can he make the most of it? Well, now I like the 3 ball with a little bump to try and get into this area here to get rid of these. Spudboy's sort of taking the sort of bailout way, but I would have played the 3 ball to come up into here. You'd be very unlucky not to have a shot because you're trying to get into an area to sort of tidy up this area. He had an opportunity there to do it. Now he's got another opportunity here off the 3 ball again where he can bump the 3 in and come up and nudge something to get onto these 2 and get rid of one of them. You've got to see those opportunities, and he's missed one already, and he's got another one though. Just needs to come into that spot. Well, let's see if he's going to do it. He's now got the 3rd opportunity to do this, but now he's got to jack up a bit, I think. If he's just going to let this run, it might just run over this side and do nothing. Let's see. You know, he's got the hit. And that's pretty good. That's exactly what he wants to be doing, just to get into that spot there and tidy this mess up here. But again, also, we're looking at where a break ball is, and there's a 9 ball sitting there that's the candidate. Now, again, just to chastise Spudboy for his earlier misdemeanour on that 8 ball, he wants to avoid this like the plague. Oh dear. Oh dear. He's taking his eye right off the ball there. Oh, after all that good work, the run is only 9. And that's a fail. But what he has done is he's created a bit of a problem for Tommyy. Tommy's going to have to deal with this situation here, which, let's be honest, that's not really a combo. That's far too tight past the 8 ball, and that can go wrong very quickly. And the 8 ball past the 2 ball is a bit tight as well. Now, obviously, he's on the 2 inside, so that gets rid of that problem. And now he's in a perfect spot to get rid of the 8. So we're assuming that Tommy's not touching this with a barge pole, as they say. He's leaving that well alone. And he could come around the back end of this 15 here, I think. Well, again, I'm not I presume he's played for the 13. I thought he'd have been trying to just nip across the back end of this 15 and get rid of it that way. But anyway, he's got another chance. And that's what he didn't want, but he's got the bailout ball. So he's sitting pretty good here. But I think if you're in Tommy's corner, I think you've got to look for Tommy to make some sort of statement here tonight where he has to put a contribution together to take this match away from Spudboy. It's going to do a couple of things. It's going to let people know that Tommyy is still in this and will be dangerous given the opportunity. But like I said earlier, he's not really impressed very much at all in this tournament. His high run is 94. He's been nowhere near any of that. But you've got to be you've not just got to be capable of putting runs of 90 odd together. You know, when you get to this stage in the tournament and the one-loss side, and he's missed the 9-ball, I think I've cursed him there. And again, Spudboy's been let off the hook. That'll be a missed call. And Tommy's visit is only 8. So, like I said, Tommy's prospects for surviving in this much more if he wins this match are not that good, because he's not really been putting anything together. And it has also to be said that Spudboy's now on what, his third or fourth visit here where, okay, he is behind, but he's not a mile behind. And Spudboy really needs to get out in this rack and get into the next one. And this is where you really got to knuckle down and get into the meat of this rack. You're kidding me on. A double bogey in the first. Aye, they teed off at 7:30, did they not? Oh, that's a disaster. That's played right into the bloody American sands, that. And yesterday, what did they have? He had birdie, eagle, birdie. Oh dear, but mind you, the greens are really dried out, are they not? It's a bit fiery today. Well, if he's going to have a disaster, he might as well have it early on, because then he's got plenty of time to recover. And if he's dropped those 2 shots in the first hole, he's got a chance of getting the eagle in the par 5 second again. It was in his own hands to win the Grand Slam. He could have put himself in a better position. And now he's going to shoot himself in the foot. And who knows, bloody Lowry might come out of the woods as well. Because Lowry was in there at 5 under also. Well, there's a long way to go, because there's lots of things can happen on those greens. They're a bloody nightmare, they're torture, those greens. Well, Laddie's came online. He's going to get in and get a bit of practice. He's not got much time to practice. Just having said that, though, he's only got 10 minutes. So him and Bedhead will be underway. And that match will be on Slim's Twitch channel. Oh, the one I forgot to do was when Tommyy missed that pot there. I should have done this one. That one. Well, we'll just let Spudboy get on with it. But I think, once again, he has a break ball right at the head of the pack there that's pretty good. He's not really anything great anywhere else, so that would be the one he could work with. He's looking at it into the side pocket here. I don't know why, when he can bail out in a 5-ball down the rail, he can roll that in there and deal with that. Well, he obviously has another idea in mind that I'm not aware of. Now he's in no man's land a wee bit here, because that 15 ball doesn't go. He's sitting awkward in the 11. He's sitting really awkward in the 15 with a dodgy cut. And he's having to bail out here with this cut. Well, why he played that potential break ball, I don't know. Because you've then got to question the player's thinking, like, where is his break shot? Where is his break ball? There's nothing really jumping out at me to say there's a break shot there, when he potted the only sort of one that had prospects of a break shot. I mean, okay, you know, if you were sitting sort of there on the 11 ball or an angle like that, you could thump the 11 in and get a bang, but was that the one he's intended to leave as a break shot? I'm not convinced. Because you've got everything up here's doing nothing. They've no value whatsoever. And he wants to be getting somewhere near them pretty sharpish. Now he's got to just chip this in and hold the cue ball. Now he can do this with a sort of draggy, soft pace shot here, I think. No, he's going underneath. Well, has he got there? Well, again, he's in an awkward sort of, not quite this way or the other way on this 8 ball. Now, if he pots the 8 ball and brushes onto that 3, he might bump that ball and hold the 3 as a break shot. You never know. Now, 8 ball, I don't know how much he's going to catch at this 3, but maybe he has to. Let's have a look. No, that's just gone to the head of the pack and it's still in the pack. So, well, there is the other alternative right now. If you play that as your penultimate ball and you finish there in the 15 ball, you've got a good break shot into the side pocket to catch that head of the pack. So that's plan C in my head. You know, get rid of the 10, get rid of that and finish there on the 15 ball, or sort of there, cut it into the side and get a bang in the pack. Well, he's gone has he gone too far in this 10 ball? No, he can just drop it in dead weight, he's fine. But that's what he should be doing. He should be killing the cue ball or stopping it or letting it roll soft, roll that in and leave the cut into the side, and that's your break shot. Now, if he doesn't do that, then again, I'm completely bewildered at what he's thinking is. And he should be okay here. Just doesn't want to roll through too far. He just wants to come through about to there and no more with this shot. The further through you go, the straighter you get, the worse it ends up being. Well, I've got no idea what he's doing. I've got no idea. Yes, you can cut this into the corner pocket. Can you get anything in that pack? I don't know. To me, it was far easier just to roll that in and leave that short in the 15 and get a bang in the side of the pack. You know, if you finish there, you can bang that in and stun and catch them and bring something out. Well, the angle he's got, can he get enough drawback and catch anything in this pack, can he? Maybe my eyes are deceiving me. I don't know that he's convinced himself. He's looking either way. But if you're cutting that up into the corner pocket, well, maybe you can, but he doesn't think so. He's going the other way. This is running all over the place, this cue ball. 2 rails and down off the long rail into the pack. Well, he's done nothing there because he's sort of bottled out and doing anything in that shot there. Maybe it was devoid of how to get there, but I'll tell you something. Where he failed was not doing the shot that I spoke about, because that was staring you in the face. You know, that was the shot.
Where's the cue ball going?
And Tommy's let him off the hook again. Well, Spudboy's only 9 points behind here. Tommy's been stuck in 53 for seems like half an hour. And Spudboy's still in this. Right, that match, folks, is about to start in about 2 minutes' time on Slim's channel. Well, Spudboy's missed the ball. That's going to be a loss of a point. Or he's missed hitting the ball in a rail. No harm done, though. Yes, that's what I was going to do. Let's get the... where's Slim's link for this match? See if we can get that up. Is this bloody cookies thing going to come up? Right, so Slim's just about to go live, and we'll be able to keep an update on what's happening there. Does LS3 only come into VP4 on a Sunday now? I think that's sort of noticeable that you only see her in on a Sunday, or at least that's what I've noticed. It seems to be just Sundays that she get time to be in VP4. Anyway. Well, Spudboy's obviously got a shot in the 3. The problem is that he's got a wall of balls if he's going through to the rail to hit something here. Well, yes, he can pick off the 13 and just run for cover. Now, if Spudboy wants to get it into a grind like this, it can either work for him or it can go against him. If Tommyy gets impatient, that's where mistakes are more likely to be made by Tommyy. And this might be a good enough game plan early on and see how things go. Well, he doesn't want to bring something else out, though. That should have just been a dead weight roll into the side pocket there. I think he's left a break shot on here for Tommyy. Yeah. That could be a big mistake. Now, how much pain and suffering is Spudboy going to have to stand here? Because that has been a sweet gift there to Tommyy. Well, we've been waiting on it, but it's time that Tommyy puts something. I mean, by the end of this visit, you really got to think that Tommyy should be up towards 100. He should be up towards 3 figures by the end of this visit to make some sort of impression. Well, they're underway. Well, at least they're not underway, because Bedhead's the only one in the room so far. I thought they'd have. In fact, it's well, Larry's probably still in his. Oh, there we go. So they're just about to lag off the important part of the match. Bedhead in the right-hand side, Larry in the left. Looks as if Larry's going to win it. So that's the first important thing to go in Larry's favour. Now, what's Bedhead got as a break shot? We'll see the break shot here, and then yeah, he's trying to get the corner ball back to the pack. That's very difficult to judge, and he's left Larry a bank if he fancies it. And meanwhile, Tommyy on a run of 11. Now again, Tommyy has not got a great last couple of balls here. That 8 ball's doing absolutely nothing. And but what he is going to do is make sure he's got the angle outside this to cut it and get the hit. That's what he has to do. And that needs to get up the table. Well, he's got the spin. Again, he's a lot further away from this than he would have liked. See that cue ball, if that cue ball was there, he can get a lot more pace into the hit. And probably a wee bit more controlled. And he's missed the pack, and that's the problem. Far too far away. So once again, Tommyy has been stopped in his tracks, and it's only 14, but again, he's brought a ball out. And that's a poor shot from Tommyy. Spudboy should not have been having a sniff at this. Can he get enough of this 8 ball? In fact, I don't know that he can get enough of the 8 ball and do actually anything to the pack. Well, that is not a dead set combo. There's a little gap though, which allows you to make it. He's got to make this because it is definitely not set. That's going to the knuckle on the short rail. And he's adjusted it perfectly. Now, what's the prospects of continuing this run? Big draw. Needs to get the cue ball through and out. Well, he's got a shot. That's all you're asking for. He's got a shot. But he's got 3 clusters here, all doing nothing, which he's going to very quickly have to get into one way or another. So Tommy's stretching his lead. It goes to 26. Well, he's got to get a hit and get some movement here. Oh, and he's went right through the gap. Would you believe it? Right through the gap. Right through that gap there. He's got a slight angle again, but this is another potential break ball going down the pan. He's got to hope he might create something from a nudge here. And that's not really improved it a great deal, I don't think. Nope, the 10 ball doesn't go. Well, this is, he's lucky he's got the bailout in the 4 ball, I'll tell you. He is very lucky. Right through the little gap. Well, now he does have something of a break shot. Well, he's got to play the stun onto the 7 and 3 here. That is a must. He's got to play the stun. He doesn't look as if he's doing it though, but that's exactly what he should be doing. Got to play the stun, Tommy. Oh, he could regret that, I'll tell you. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity right there to cut that 3 and stun it up and get a nudge on them. You're always got a bailout into the side. You've got some sort of bailout. The problem with that not doing that is this is awkward. It's not a combo. It's far from it. It isn't a combo at all. So now he's having to try to get into a tight spot to deal with this 7 and 3. And when I say a tight spot like that to get into the 3 ball into the side pocket. And, well, Tommy, if you can't see the obvious shot to get the breakout, then that's maybe why you haven't put much together here. Because that was no good. I mean, any snooker player sees that shot every day of the week when you're behind the reds and you want to play a stun onto some reds to hold for something else. But that was a perfect little stun shot to nudge those 2 balls. And now he's having to bail out big time here. Did he call the bank or has he called the cut? I don't see what he did there. We'll soon find out what he's done. Is he playing it into the side? No, he's playing the bank. Well, we all know where that went wrong. It went wrong in a missed opportunity for the little breakout, and I think he's been lucky that he's actually left he's left spud. Nothing very inviting at all here. And once again, Tommy's visit is only 12. His lead has stretched to 35. And that 7 ball is sitting perfect for a break shot. Well, Spud could just take a point here. He could just take a loss of a point here if he just wants to dab the cue ball and leave nothing much for Tommy. Well, he's umming and ahhing and looking at this 3 ball into the side. It's a very tight angle. Yeah, he had to cut it a lot thinner than that.
Where's the cue ball going?
And that's a disaster because that's given Tommy a gift ball in hand and an ideal ball to get onto this break shot. And that could be a very big mistake by Spudboy. Because as I said, he could have easily just lost a point there. And he's maybe going to lose a lot more than a point now from what he's just attempted there. And Tommy's kept the cue ball on the table. The balls are broken pretty well. And his prospects are pretty good also to keep the run going. But again, there's not a clear and cut obvious break ball here. Not really. Now let's have a quick look and see what's happening in that match. Let me just get the get that thing up. Well, Larry's on a run of 21 right from the start, and Larry's got what looks like an 11 ball as a possible break ball, but it's again a little bit cluttered there. So Larry looks as if he's got to get some sort of... He might have to use that potential break ball to do some damage here. Unless that 15 and 7 are a combo. They look a reasonable combo from this angle. But Larry's going to have to do it. He's going to do it now, I think. Larry's taking his time. Well, he's actually stunned that. And he's again going to have to get rid of another. I think that's maybe too far at the back of the pack. Well, anyway, we'll leave Larry to it. Meanwhile, Tommyy, he's coming down to the business end of this rack. And he looks that he's created a break ball here, because that 3 ball is sitting pretty good. I think there's no doubt that that's what he's going to be working on. Oh dear. Oh dear, this needs to keep going. Would you believe it? And he's got a bailout ball up table as well. This 3 ball does go into the side. So he's already on to plan C here now. And he's going to have to take the 8 and get this spinning up the table to get the 10. Yeah. Now he doesn't want to be stuck to the rail. And he's stuck to the rail. So he can go forward, around the corner and out. Now, did you want to come out far enough to cut this from the rail, or are you trying to stay inside? He's trying to stay inside, but again, he's getting himself too close to the rail. And this is tough. It's tough because he's far too far away from the object ball. But he's got a hit in the top of the pack. Is he going to have a shot? He's got a bailout, and that's all he's got. A bailout and a 4 ball. But there's a meaty cluster there that needs a bump. The sooner the better. And if he's up this end of the table, again, there's no bailout ball up this end of the table, but if you got it somewhere in the middle of the table for this, well, he's trying to get it from behind. He's not really done a great deal of damage there. So this is going to remain the pain in the back of his neck until he deals with it one way or another. Now, we can see a clear and obvious opportunity where if he gets rid of something here, he can finish there in a 2 ball, cut it into the side and get the bump. If he finishes up this side of the 2 ball, well, he's gone the bump behind, so that takes care of that, and he's also given himself another opportunity with a break ball. So this rack has now shaped up and looking very good for the prospects of continuing the run, provided he doesn't start nudging balls that he doesn't need to nudge, because none of these need touching, they just need picked off in the right order. And he's got 1 break ball, 2 break balls, 3 break balls. So you'd think he'd had to do something really silly not to be able to get at least to the break shot in this rack. So I think he's committing himself to the 12. I think that's what he's going for. I don't even know when I muted myself. Oh, I muted myself there to have a drink. It wasn't that long ago. I'm thinking he's looking at the combo, but I don't know what he's doing, but he should have called this long before now. You know, cut that 4, and now he's just trying to nail it and stick it. And he's lost a point. I don't think... well, I think if you look at that 4 ball from this angle, that 4 ball does have a pocket. And now we could be at risk of losing 15 points here by Spudboy, unless he gets to a rail. But if he's going to go to a rail, he's got to go to the rail and try and come back up into the back of these two to leave nothing on. Because if he just goes to the rail, he's going to leave the 7 ball on. This is a touchy shot. And not played very well, I'm afraid. And Tommy's got a fairly comfortable 11 ball up the table. And he's also got a break ball in place, so this could possibly...
Hasta la vista, baby.
It could possibly be that. I don't want to be the prophet of doom. But then again, having said that, I think Tommyy... What the hell's Tommyy doing? What happened there? Did he miss the pot? Now I'm totally confused. Spudboy's back at the table. What happened there, Coldest Pillow? Tell me what happened. Because I'm at falling asleep time here. He missed it. That's a terrible miss. Because that was not a difficult pot. And talking about not a difficult pot, Spudboy's let him straight back in. Well, now, this could be the beginning of the end, I feel. I think Tommyy really should be trying to get this over and done with and cut out the faffing about. Now, let's have a look at the 4. It's still sitting where it is. It's perfect. And I quick look in and see what's happening. And Bedhead, well, Bedhead's still on 14. Larry's in a run of 16 and counting. His lead is 30, and he's got loads of points available here. So Larry's got a good opportunity here to really stick it to Bedhead. And Tommyy, well, once again, Tommy's not finished in any good shape at all here because he's having to bail out on the 4 ball and go for the cut on the 10 into the side of the pack by the looks of it. Or is he? Either way, he's not sitting good at all because this is very difficult to judge and hold this cue ball. Is he trying to get into the triangle? Well, I don't know what the hell he was trying, but that obviously didn't work. So Tommyy once again falling well short of what he should be getting here. It's only a visit of 4, but he's got a good length of the cue ball. Now we need a quick look and see if there's anything doing, and I don't think there is. I don't see anything at all. Well, Spudboy should just be rolling that 2 ball through to the back rail and sticking the cue ball up there. I think that's what he should be doing. That 2 ball's got a clean run, just to send it back into the stack and stick the cue ball up there. But if he tries to go thin edge off this is dangerous. He could easily bring something out along that line of balls there. That's far too dangerous to be playing that as a shot. And the only problem with the shot he's just played there is that he's left Tommyy a very easy escape, just a thin edge in the 7, and get the weight right and stick that cue ball down onto that kitchen rail. I don't know why he's going that way though. He's not going to get to a rail, is he? No, well, I think he's missed a trick there, Tommy. Because if he just pushed the 7 ball across to the 4, he was down here into the long grass. Perfectly good safety shot. Well, Spudboy would dearly like to come off the 4 ball to get down table, but there's a danger of the scratch, clearly. He could be really crazy and try and bang the 4 ball into the side pocket. I don't think he can get enough of it, though. But that would be nuts to do that. He might as well he could just take the hit for another point here. Well, now Tommy's back to square one. Spudboy loses a point there, but Tommyy again is sitting looking at a 7 ball. We can just feather the edge and get up into the long grass. Now, why he didn't play that the last time around, I don't know. But that's what he should have done. And that's a far better shot. Because now Spudboy is at distance. And now the edge that you get on one of these balls is so important that you get that thin edge and you don't sneak something out.
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, he hasn't sneaked anything out. He's lost another point. No damage done. And I don't know what the hell Tommyy was trying here, but he missed that by a country mile. Let's have a look at that again. I mean, talk about needing glasses. Look at this for a shot. Missed it by a yard. That's a terrible shot. Well, welcome to Wenny. Good evening. I'll tell you, it's a terrible shot, but look where the cue ball is. It's actually a terrible, great shot. That's exactly where you want to stick the cue ball. Nailed it right onto the rail. That's perfect. Oh, is he in 2 fouls, Tommyy? I didn't know that. I'd lost count. Well, he's got to a rail where he's left a ball on, although it's pretty straight. Now, again, if you get yourself through this side, you can pot that 7 and smack the pack. No, it's going too far. Gone too far. Yeah, that was all you're going to get out of that lot. Right, quick look in on Bedhead and Larry. And Larry has just finished a run of 33. And Bedhead back at the table, chasing a fairly big deficit here to get rid of, first of all. Now, somebody work that out. Bedhead's in 15, Larry's in 61. I can't work that out. My brain doesn't do mental arithmetic at this time of night. But anyway, he's 40 odd behind. So Bedhead's got a big task here to clear up that deficit before he starts making inroads. So a lot of work for Bedhead to do. And, well, Tommy's still a wee bit away from the finishing line, but he's in a fairly comfortable position because it's asking a lot for Spudboy suddenly put up a big run of 60 odd or more to really take this match all the way. But the thing about straight pool is that's always a possibility. It's never 100% against you that it can't happen. It is always a possibility, and you just have to keep believing as long as you're at the table. Again, the cue ball had to do an awful lot of running, but Spudboy's got something out. He's got something to keep him going. I don't know that he should be over ambitious with this 9 ball. I don't think he should be trying to do any more damage off that. Now this needs to hit the 6, because that could have ended up stone dead. I don't see anything. There's not much more to go for here for Spudboy. He needs a hit, but he needs to get good on one of these last 2 balls to get that hit. And this is going too straight, and I don't think he's sitting all that great on the 6 ball to get much damage done here. He's far too far above the stack. I think he might get some sort of glancing blow, but I don't think the line is that good to get much of that. What is it, the 12 ball? And that hasn't got there either, so it's a struggle for Spudboy to keep this going. And he needs to be making a bit more of a contribution in his visits, but it's tough. We've seen, and I think if you watched any of the straight pool world championships in the last few years, you will realise that straight pool, for anybody who has glanced at straight pool and think that straight pool is easy, as I probably did when I first came to virtual pool, I thought straight pool just looked simple. All you have to do is pot a ball and you get a point for it. You can pot any ball you want, but it is far from that. It is far from that. That's a great shot that he got such a hit. And, well, he's got a dodgy cut, a very dodgy cut either way. That 10 ball is touchy. The 1 ball is touchy. He might not win a lot after it, though, either. Yeah, I think we've all appreciated that straight pool is not a cut and dried easy game because of the structure of it and how you have to go about things. Trying to keep the cue ball on the table, trying to keep the cue ball in play, and then trying to get to that critical position in each rack to keep your run going. Mastery of the cue ball control is certainly a big part of it. Now that's perfect to do some damage here. Got to be controlled damage, though. You don't have to blast this 100 miles an hour. It's just a nudge and nudge things into play. But above all, don't miss the pot. I think that could have ended up a lot better than that. But I think he's okay, though. I think the 8 ball, yeah, the 8 ball will go. Although that 5 ball looks far too tight to the pack. Well, I'm satisfied that the 8 ball goes. I think Spudboy would much rather actually keep the 8 ball there. Now, if you could control the drag in this cue ball and the cut in that 10 ball, could you hold the cue ball this side to play a cut in the 5? I don't know. It looks far too touchy. But that would be one way of keeping the 8 ball there and trying to get a pot in the 5 and open up that as a break shot. It's a tough ask. But I think you've got to play a draggy cut in this 10 ball to take as much pace off the cue ball as you can to try and stop it running away. Is it getting there? Oh, well, he did. He tried. He actually left it a bit short on the 5 ball. And if Tommyy plays the 5-10 combo, he's going to probably lose his 8 ball doing it. Well, Spudboy had the right idea because he was desperate to keep that 8 ball there. It was such a tough shot to control. You know, you're not only trying to get the cut right, but you're trying to hold the cue ball. Well, Tommy's actually missed the combo, would you believe it? Well, one thing's for certain, he ain't got a, whoever gets there ain't got a break ball. Right, quick look in and an update. And, well, Bedhead is getting there. He's now 20 behind. On a run of 27, he's got a cluster to deal with. And he looks as if he's in reasonable shape at the moment. He's got a little nudge. Brought a couple more balls into play. That's improved the situation by quite a margin because I think all of these balls go. Again, provided you get things done in the right order. So prospects are looking good for Bedhead to continue. And meanwhile, Spudboy is 67 points behind, is he? Something like that. A long way behind. Now, what have I missed the chat? Have you bought yourself an Easter egg? No. Can I buy you one? Yes, you can. Oh dear, there's the yawning started. It's just after, well, what is it, 20 to 9, but I'm on the rapid downhill falling asleep mode. But it has to be said that my live stream has kept going pretty good. So as a result of that, a round of applause for the live stream keeping going. Well, you are so generous, Coldest Pillow. That is very nice of you. Very kind. Just a pity. It's just a pity not many other people do that. And take up your fine example there. That's going to a good cause. I'll tell you something, Coldest Pillow. It is going for a good cause. You know why? Because I'm going to buy a new set of headphones on my week off. Because these... I mean, these still work. I just don't like the mic as much, and they're getting a bit grubby, to say the least. I mean, that bright green colour doesn't stay bright green for very long, so they're getting a bit manky. And I've got my eye on a set of headphones on Amazon, and I'll get them on my week off because then I can, you know, I'll be home for delivery, no problem. They're about, what price are they? They're about 60 quid. I think they are, and I can't remember the name of them. In fact, no, tell a lie. It was Logitech ones I had my eye on. Or what was the name of the other ones? There's a couple, oh dear, there's a cue ball going south. And that might be the best thing that happened to Spudboy there. I can't remember the name of the other set of headphones. Now you see that shot there had loads of left English on it from Tommyy, and got the cue ball right into the sort of back end of the stack there. And I think he's left everything perfectly safe. By the way, Coldest Pillow, have you seen the size of the eggs that you get for £5 in Tesco? They're not bloody much eating in them, I'll tell you that. The price of Easter eggs is ridiculous. But we're selling Easter eggs at £20. And no buggers buying them. Or at least I've not seen many people spending 20 quid on a bloody bit of chocolate. Yeah, 20 quid Easter eggs, unbelievable. There would be no kid of mine ever worth 20 quid for an Easter egg, I'll tell you that right now. No, I'd sooner just have the fiver in my hand, to be honest with you, rather than Easter egg. By the way, see when you arrange this match with Cobra, for goodness sake, make it for 7 o'clock any day of the week. I don't care what day of the week it is, but don't make it for 8 o'clock, because that keeps me out of the equation. I don't get to stream it. Well, Tommyy back at the table, trying the big cut in the run of the cue ball. Well, he's got a hit his work one way or another. He's got a couple of balls free, but he's also, well, I was going to say he had I thought that 12 ball might have been a break ball, but clearly not. But, and well, he's going to do some damage here. Big shot, because he's 30 away from the finishing line, so he needs this rack and another one. And that's worked out pretty well. Again, freed up some more balls. Now, I'm just going to take my top off because I'm getting too warm. Hang on a minute. You know what? I forgot I've got my webcam on. It automatically kicks on now with when XSplit starts. Where the hell is it though? There, that's proof. That's proof I've got my top off. I am topless. That's as close as you're going to get to pornography tonight. Yeah, it's getting a bit too warm. You're free all the time. Well, now you see, the thing is, if I was you, I would get the proposal in for 7 o'clock on preferably Tuesday night or Wednesday night. That was, although you don't have to rush, because I believe you'll get a good bit of time before you have to play it. But even if you left it till next week, I'm off all next week. I don't care what time you play it at then. So there's no... In fact, let's have a quick look now that I'm talking about that. No, I can't be bothered, because that's going to ruin the Slim stream. And Bedhead is now in front. The run is 49. It's just gone to 50. And he's got a pretty good break ball. So this could be a big turnaround here for Bedhead. Oh, that cue ball sort of died. And he's not really done a great deal of damage. Yes, he's still got a shot, but he's going to have to get up table and try and cut that and get, you know, as high as he can in that 9 ball and cut the 9 and do a bit of damage. That's what you're going to. That's the plan here. I can read Bedhead's mind. Got to get up table. No, he isn't. Well, I've read it wrong because you're obviously going to try the 2-ball instead. We'll have to see this before we go back to the other match. Because maybe the angle is not good to get up top for that 9-ball. But this could end up dead, this cue ball. But it's actually come out very good. So he's on a good run. And as long as he can deal with this situation here, he's got a good chance of continuing. And meanwhile, Tommyy is 19 away with a break ball. Not a great one, but he's got a break ball. That's going to go too straight. Yeah, he needed to stay there. He's gone a bit too straight. I don't know how much damage he'll be able to do. Well, that's perfect. Oh, has he got a shot though? Yes, he does. Well, he's on 1-3-3. He's going to need another rack after this as well, isn't he? Yes, he is. I thought he only needed 2 racks. He's going to need another one. He's at least going to need another break shot, isn't he? Well, I think he's dead in the water here. Oh, the 14, the 6 is just held in play. Oh, now he's going to bail out in a combo, I think, or is he going to play the cut in the 5? He's still okay. It's just threatening to fall apart here, but he's hanging in there. Oh, now he's created another problem. Now he's got to take the 8-ball and get the bump. He's got to deal with that immediately. He's got the perfect angle to do that. And that deals with that problem. Right, so now you've got to look at this issue here. Yes, you can get to the 14 from the outside. You can get to the 14, but this is an issue. And he's now 11 away. Well, now 10 away, so that's 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, he needs another 3 balls after this lot. So, getting down to the nitty-gritty, and he's got a little bump one way or the other, but that has dealt with that situation. And he's also on the awkward 14. He has a break ball either side at the top of the pack. And I think I'm pretty safe in saying it's definitely...
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, I think you've had your fun, Spud Boy. Oh, not next Sunday. For goodness sake, don't even give him Sunday as an option, because I'm back at work next Sunday. I'm talking about a weekend Sunday. Are you talking about this Sunday coming? Now, if you're talking about my week off, I'm back at work. Sunday's the beginning of the week, remember? So if you've given him Tuesday and Thursday, those are fine, but yeah, well, I just hope he doesn't choose Sunday. But if he chooses it at 7 o'clock, then that's fine. He'll be able to do it. It's just anything at 8 o'clock and beyond that, it's a no-no. That's going too late at night for me. As is this match at the moment, it's now 10-9, and I want to see a bit of the golf before I go to bed. So I'm desperate for this to be over. With the greatest of respect to Spud Boy. And Tommy's just going to have to wait a wee while longer. Tommy's run of 26 has ended. Meanwhile, we'll have a quick look in and see what's still happening here. Bedhead looking at he's on a very good run here at the moment. He's now got a 20-point lead. The run is 67, and this table is good. He's got what looked like a combo there that he's actually just nudged, and now the table is perfect. He's got break ball. The 5 ball looks like a good break ball, and it looks like a very interesting run here. Larry will be sitting there with his fingers crossed, but Bedhead's producing the goods when it matters. And Spudboy, well, it's a bit high at the top of the pack. He doesn't want to blast this because he might miss the pack. Well, he caught the 8 ball. Oh, he's got... I think he's got a shot. Then again, maybe not. Well, he's got the dodgy cut in the 13, where he's going to be running straight into that pack of balls. Got to take that. He's got to take that. I mean, this is where you give it a good cut and a decent solid hit. Well, he's married up with a 1 ball. Well, this could be ugly. This could be ugly. In fact, the more I look at it, the uglier it's getting. Can he see enough of the 2? I think he can. I think he can just get enough of the 2. Yeah, I think he can. I'm convinced he can. But the more you look around, the less opportunities that you can see for a shot. All or nothing. I think he wants to cut that a wee bit more, does he? You want to cut that? Looks okay now. That's perfect. So he lives to fight for another couple of pots. Now, what does he do here? Does he run forward into these? I don't know. He might create more of a problem and actually open much more up doing that. Well, all the interesting stuff is really happening in this match here. The run is 76 now from Bedhead. He's now on to 90, 91. And he has the chance. Does he not have a chance of getting a high run here for the tournament? I think he does. I can't work out the arithmetic now. What's happened to... I thought Spudboy had fallen asleep there. We'll get back to this shot here. I mean, he's obviously got a choice of the 6 ball or the 8 ball, or even a bit of a cut in the 4. But if he pots the 8 ball, he can run forward. Like I said, I don't know whether that'll do... That might do more harm than good, though. Well, that's definitely his last shot. That is it, Spudboy. It's all over. Tommyy has all the balls that he needs to get himself out here. He really doesn't need to nudge anything. He needs another 5 balls and they're all sitting there. So, I would strongly suggest that you get yourself over to Slim's Twitch channel to follow the rest of this match, because Bedhead is on 84 and he still has to get to 150. 84. So how many did he need? 84 and add another 50. he might be able to still get the high run. I'm not sure because I can't work it out. Somebody will tell me. He does have a chance. I can't work it out because my head's screwed up. But anyway, this for the match for Tommyy. So well done to Tommyy. I don't know what the hell that is. It's come up on the screen. Things are going a bit haywire here. Hang on a minute. Get this damn thing working. Hang on.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well done to Tommyy. Well, Tommyy knows that he's going to have to pick up his game to survive in this tournament because he's still got to put something appreciable together. It's been too much bits and pieces for him in all his matches. But meanwhile, Bedhead is on a run of 90 and he's sitting with a break ball there to keep this going. So everybody, thank you for watching. I'm heading out. And good luck to Bedhead in trying to get this high run. And he's 46 to win the match, so he definitely can get the high run. And he's got Larry in trouble, to say the least. And the balls are broken pretty well. So get yourself over to Slim's Twitch channel. Thanks for watching, folks. And I will bid you a very good night. And we'll see you later. And take care.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.